What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Movie Watch. My name is Justin, and today I will be reviewing and hopefully offering maybe a slightly measured opinion from a person who really didn't have astronomical expectations for what this movie was going to be. I am a horror fan. I am not a traditional superhero movie fan, but this movie had horror elements and certain aspects in that first trailer that kind of drew me towards it, and after seeing it, I have to say I was pretty satisfied. Like I said, I am a horror fan through and through, and this movie did offer some decent scares. This movie does a good job at straddling the line between your blockbuster superhero movie and a horror movie. Now, it doesn't fully commit to either one, which could be a complaint for some people who are really looking for a lot of horror elements or really looking for a lot of the X-Men elements in the movie. But what you will get is a fairly contained, decent character study involving just a few characters and a grounded story. You can tell by watching this movie that they were working with quite a smaller budget than your traditional movie in this style, and I think that actually worked to its advantage. Now, the movie takes primarily in this one location in the hospital where all these new mutants are discovering and learning to control their newfound powers. A lot of the movie is them as a group just kind of talking and conversing, especially in these sort of like group therapy sessions. That the information that you do learn about the characters is fairly minimal, and that could be a complaint for some people. I know I was left wanting to know a little bit more about each of the characters, so that is a small negative. As the movie goes along, you do learn a little bit more about each character, how they discovered their powers, how the powers may have negatively impacted their life, and it may explain why they're in the institution hospital that they're in. If you're going in expecting a blockbuster, special effects laden epic, that's not what this movie is. Now, there are some decent set pieces involving the characters using their power that will satisfy superhero movie fans, but for the most part, this is a pretty grounded story, and you get most of that towards the end of the movie. For the horror elements, there are some decent scares, and honestly, they went a little further in a couple scenes with the horror aspects than I thought they were going to do, and I was pretty happy with that. They don't fully commit to it. It's not a full horror movie. It's not a full superhero movie. It is definitely down the line mashup. When you get into the negatives of this movie, like I said, you don't learn a lot about each individual character. They kind of skim the surface, so you don't find yourself being super connected to anybody in the movie. It's not a super complex story. The movie doesn't try to do more than it can with what it has to work with. It really does the best of a smaller budget, a minimal one location movie. It does a pretty good job. Now, it does mix it up by separating the characters and putting them apart from one another to create a little tension. Anya Taylor-Joy's character bugged me a little bit. They have her doing this Russian accent, which I don't feel was completely necessary. The guy from Stranger Things, I always forget his name. Heaton? Every time I mention him in a video, I forget his damn name. Poor guy. He has this super southern guy accent that he's trying to do some of the time. After watching this movie, kind of what it felt like to me was as if you had a 12 to 14 episode run of a series, and a couple of those episodes were missing. The movie overall isn't as cohesive as it could have been, and it suffers a little bit because of that. I think if you keep your expectations measured, I think you will be satisfied. I would say for the most part, it would be geared towards a early to mid-teen audience, that CW audience, because there is some melodrama. The character stuff is a little juvenile at some points. I think a person who's going into this as a massive X-Men fan or massive Avengers fan, they will probably feel a little disappointed in this movie. They may find it a little slow or a little less action than they like. That was actually what I found to be the positives of the movie. I just can't get into a movie where I feel like the characters aren't even a part of their own environment or just plopped in front of a green screen and talking to tennis balls. I just cannot connect with those type of movies. So this movie didn't go over the top with the CGI green screen type of stuff. There's a little bit towards the end to satisfy people who do like those type of set pieces. There's enough horror in there to satisfy the people who do like the scary and the creepy and the jump scary type scenarios. I know I've seen this movie here and there just getting trashed. It's a perfectly fine movie. Don't let anybody discourage you from seeing the New Mutants. I enjoyed it. Definitely let me know what you thought of the New Mutants, and that's all I got for today. Definitely look at my other videos and like and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies. I love watching them, and I love making them.
Nah, I can't do it.